Hello, so thanks for tuning in to this. If you do, I wanted to talk about the PlayStation 5 showcase that happened last week, so I'm a little bit late with this. Been meaning to make a video, just been busy with life. But yeah, PlayStation had a showcase last week, Thursday the 9th, I believe it was, or Friday the 10th, something like that, where they showed some stuff, and I just want to talk about that in the future, as well as Insomniac games and what we're kind of getting from them right now. So the showcase was interesting. It was like 45 minutes, and what was interesting about it was really you could have done like a 15-minute showcase because the first 30 minutes were pretty boring. Not much was shown that was really interesting, and I was at that point thinking, man, this showcase sucks. What a disappointment. I don't know how you get anything good. But then the end of the showcase ended with a bang with Insomniac announcing not one but two games. It's interesting because people thought Insomniac's going to go away and not have any sort of new announcements for a while. They ended up giving us not just the one but the two with Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. I don't think anybody saw the Wolverine announcement coming, so that was big. Getting Insomniac having those two games, and we haven't had a Wolverine game in a long time as well. And yeah, it was total fake out because they showed Wolverine, and no one was expecting that. And after that, I think people were thinking, okay, we won't see Spider-Man 2 because I think before people were thinking we'll see Spider-Man 2. I thought we would, but then after the Wolverine, I think people were like, no, we won't see Spider-Man 2, and yet they ended up showing that. And then you had God of War got its first gameplay. The only thing with God of War is that the game straight up looks like a PS4 game graphically from what was shown. I know it's a cross-gen game, but so is Horizon Forbidden West. And when you look at Horizon Forbidden West and what we've seen, the PS5 version clearly looks better than anything that you can play on PlayStation 4, where God of War can't say the same thing. So it's kind of a disappointment, but at the same time, it should still be a good game. Gran Turismo 7 got a release date in March, which is only about a month or so, maybe a few weeks. I think it was March 4th, which is only a couple weeks after Horizon Forbidden West. So I was surprised it was that close. So you had the God of War announcement, or the gameplay, Spider-Man 2 trailer, Wolverine, and Gran Turismo. That was kind of the highlight of the show. Like I say, you could have very easily made that like a 30-minute show rather than the 45 minutes. And then I just wanted to ask a question. Is Insomniac Games the best studio that Sony has? I personally think they are. I've always loved Insomniac Games. And the thing with Insomniac is they have multiple teams. They have two locations, one in Burbank, California, and one in somewhere in North Carolina in terms of the locations, in terms of the office. But they actually have, I think, at least three teams. They might even have four when you look at it, because now you have at launch on PlayStation 5, you had cross-gen Miles Morales game, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Then you had like 8 months later, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and now we're gonna get Spider-Man 3 or Spider-Man 2, I meant, in 2023. I think it'll be an early 2023 game. And then Wolverine, it sounds like it's farther out, so I think that'll be 2024. But either way, if you get that, you're talking about 4 games from Insomniac for PlayStation 5 within a like 4 or 5 year window, where a lot of other studios take like 4 or 5 years to crack out one game. So it's pretty impressive. And with Insomniac, who knows, maybe we even get a VR announcement, a VR game announcement at some point from them. I could see them doing that. They could maybe be even making in between Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine or something, maybe another Ratchet and Clank game or something. There's been talk about doing like a Rivet spin-off Ratchet and Clank game type of thing. That'd be cool. Also, next year's 20 years for Ratchet and Clank since the original. So I'm wondering if they might do something for that, because back when the franchise turned 10 years old in 2002, you got a HD collection of the first 3 Ratchet and Clank games. If we got something like that, but with maybe the future trilogy with Tools of Destruction, Quest for Booty, and cracking time. I think that would be pretty cool. So yeah, you could maybe get something like that. So it's just Insomniac is killing it. Just wonder what people think. Are they the best studio that Sony has? I personally think they are because, like I said, not only good games but quick as well. So they're quick and efficient, not just good, but games but fast as well, which counts for a lot. And then just kind of going with the Sony and the showcase and kind of looking at the future and whatnot. I just thought it's just kind of interesting to look at what Sony has here. If you look at their exclusives here for the first few years. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that there's not a lot to play, which I think is ridiculous because when systems come out, usually the first year or so, there's not a ton of good first-party games for a year, maybe even a year and a half, something like that. And we're still in a pandemic situation with lockdowns and work from home and all that, which has affected development. But Sony actually has quite a good amount of games. The problem, I think, is that a lot of those games are cross-gen. Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West, Miles Morales, all cross-gen games. God of War as well. If those games weren't cross-gen, it would be like the most loaded first year and a half, 2 years, or whatever that you've really ever seen from a console. And then that doesn't even include games such as Forspoken. Oh yeah, Forspoken was also shown in the PlayStation Showcase. Got a spring 2022 release date. Originally, it was supposed to be a January 2022 release date. So, like pretty much everything, it got delayed as well. But yeah, you have games like that as well. Fist just came out. Excellent side scroll game. Been playing it. Been streaming on my channel some. Streaming everything I've played so far in that game, other than like maybe 2 hours or something. And I only didn't stream that part because I was voice chatting when I was playing with it with some friends on Facebook chat. But yeah, that game is a lot of fun. So you also have games like that and multi-platform games. Next year is loaded, and I mean loaded with big games, not just exclusives, but with multi-platform like you've never seen before. Just absurd amount of games. But if you look at the pipeline right now, basically, which is what I was kind of talking about here, going back to last year with the launch of the PS5, you had Sackboy, Demon's Souls, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Astrobot. Astrobot was the game that came with the PS5 that really shows off the features of PS5 really well with the controller and everything. It's a fun game, and I think we'll get another Astro game on VR2 whenever that comes out, PlayStation VR2, because I've heard the first Astrobot game on VR is quite good. And then the fact that the PS5 built-in game, Astrobot, is pretty good, so I think we'll get that. But anyway, yeah, you had, like I said, Sackboy, Demon's Souls, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Astrobot last year. This year, you're getting you've had Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, Destruction All-Stars. So you got Ratchet and Clank is personally my game of the year. Returnal, I've heard good things about, although not my type of game. And then Destruction All-Stars, not such a good reception, but still something. Next year, you got Horizon Forbidden West, God of War, Ragnarok, and Gran Turismo 7. 2023, and Horizon Forbidden West will likely be my game of the year next year if Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't come out next year. Otherwise, it'll be that likely because Breath of the Wild 2 is supposed to come out next year, but they also said they're targeting 2022, which makes me think they're not that confident it could easily get pushed to 2023. Then you got 2023, you got Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac Games that was announced, and then 2024 likely you're looking at Wolverine. So I feel like that's already a pretty decent amount of games, and of course Sony's going to announce more. They're not going to go like the whole entire 2022 without announcing anything for 2023, or you get to 2023 they're not going to go the whole year without not announcing something for 2024. In the case of Wolverine being 2024 likely, that means we probably will not see or hear really much, if anything, about it for all of 2022. Probably won't see anything again until sometime in 2023. Spider-Man 2, I believe we will get gameplay shown some point next year would be my guess. But that's already, like I said, a decent start. Especially when you look at a pretty good start, especially when you look at the fact too that there's a lot of Sony studios that released games last year, like Media Molecule, Sucker Punch with Media Molecule with Dream, Sucker Punch with Ghost of Tsushima, which got also online free mode added, as well as a story expansion added, and Last of Us 2 by Naughty Dog. So those studios just came out with games in like the last year and a half or so. So I don't think they're far enough into whatever they're making next to show it. Maybe you get Naughty Dog showing. Naughty Dog might show a game next year. Same with Sucker Punch. Although I'm not necessarily expecting it quite yet with Sucker Punch, because I think they're probably in the early stages on working on a Ghost of Tsushima 2, which could be out maybe in 2025 or something. If that's the case, I don't think we'll see it till 2023. But yeah, you got a lot of Sony studios that haven't announced anything that will likely announce stuff. Not only Naughty Dog and Sucker Punch and whatnot, but you have a few studios that Sony bought in the last year or so that are likely going to announce something within the next year or so. So I think that's big. Sony's looking good in terms of both exclusives and with the third-party lineup next year. Just a lot of good games coming out. Forspoken's an interesting one too, because it's looks like it might kind of show off the SSD well with the way you move fast and whatnot. So that's a big thing. Excuse me. Yeah. So yeah, is that. But and then the other thing too is there's a rumor that Sony is going to have another show in December. A few months back, maybe at the beginning of the year, I don't quite remember. I know it was this year. There was a trademark fault filed basically by Sony for PlayStation Experience. If you don't remember, PlayStation Experience was a show that that Sony did in December for I think 3 or 4 years. They haven't done it now for a couple. I know they didn't do it last year or the year before. They might have done it in 2019. If it wasn't 2019, it was 2018. But they did it for like 3-4 years in a row in December, little showcase or kind of thing. They had some big announcements, I believe, during those. I don't remember off the top of my head what those announcements were each of those years. And I think it was 3 rather than the 4. But yeah, they filed that. So there's been speculation because of that they might have a show in December. The Tokyo Game Show is also coming up, but it sounds like Sony's not going to really be there from what I've heard, as well as the fact that the Tokyo Game Show used to be really big, but now it's like more dead than E3, honestly. But there's, like I said, there's the rumors about December for a showcase. I don't know if I believe those rumors for a showcase for Sony. I mean, if they do if they do have another showcase in December of PlayStation Experience, maybe they surprise people and show some gameplay for Spider-Man 2, even though it's not out till 2023. And then maybe you get stuff like Factions, which has been a rumored thing for Naughty Dog or something, and maybe a few other announcements. I don't know. Maybe you get VR announced, or VR 2 is technically announced, but maybe you get some more updates on VR 2. Maybe you get a release date. Maybe you get some of the first games shown or something. I don't know. The price, something. So you could maybe get VR, but I don't really believe that we're going to get Sony having a show in December. It's hard to say, though. Sony's been very unpredictable and random, I feel like, ever since last year. I feel like they've kind of went a Nintendo route where they've just randomly, unexpectedly dropped news when you're not expecting it. And news that could have easily been saved for a showcase or for even like a smaller show, if you will. So it's hard to say. But yeah, I don't really expect it personally. I think the only thing we're going to get from Sony the rest of this year is perhaps a game or two announced or teased or whatever at the Video Game Awards. There's always some sort of at the Video Game Awards in December announcements for games that haven't been announced yet or whatnot. as well as I think some updates. Not like a ton like E3 used to be back in the day, but there's always some. You could have some stuff from Nintendo, Microsoft, PlayStation, as well as third-party games there. So I could maybe see Sony doing something at the Video Game Awards. But outside of that, I just don't really see Sony doing anything until next year. I feel like Sony will more wait till at least early part of next year to do a real show. The one thing I could kind of see them doing is because Horizon Forbidden West is out in February, I could see them maybe in December doing some like another kind of Horizon focused show where maybe they show off of that game a little bit more, especially because back when they had the show in like May, they said they talked about a workbench or something in the game and that they would have more details about that soon. And here we are 7 months later, they haven't really given us details on that. So maybe they do a showcase for that game and show us that, as well as the fact that you got Gran Turismo 7. Maybe you have just a show where you show those two games, Horizon and Gran Turismo 7, since they both come out pretty early in 2022 and only a couple weeks apart. But outside of them doing something like that, I don't really see a real show being done this year. But if we do have a show in December, I wouldn't complain. I think it's something to be pretty cool. So yeah, we'll see. Lastly, PlayStation 5, I believe it was Thursday, yesterday / 2 days ago, if you're in the East Coast, I guess, and you're watching this, I believe it was that Sony released the big system update. I think it was 3.0, something like that. But it was a big one. Added the ability to use 3D audio through TV speakers, because before you could only do it if you had headphones plugged into your controller. They still haven't done an update yet for 3D audio through like a sound bar or anything like that, just through TV speakers. I've tried it a little bit with NBA 2K. That's the only thing I've played in the last couple of days since that came out. Haven't really played anything today. It's got home late. But yeah, just kind of wondering what people's thoughts are on the 3D audio, if they've tried it, as well as what I talked about the showcase and everything before this. And then not only did it add 3D audio, but it had the ability to add more system storage from the 600 and I think it was 7 gigabytes that were in the PlayStation 5 in terms of usable gigabytes. The system had I think it was 800 gigabytes or something, but the operation system takes up quite a bit. So it's like 607 or something usable gigabytes. But yeah, they add the update now, so you can put an SSD in there to add more space. You can go anywhere, sounds like, from 500 gigabytes up to 4 terabytes in there. 4 terabytes, though, are crazy expensive. Though, like you're talking about like $1,000 or something. So that's big. I don't believe you can go in like increments, kind of middle increments. So what I mean is you can go from, like I said, 500 gigabytes to 4 terabytes, but I think it's I think it goes from 500 to 1 to 2 to like 4 or something. Like, I don't think you can get a 1.5 terabyte or like a 2.5 terabyte or anything like that. But personally, I want to get the 2 terabyte. Hopefully, that will give me enough space on PlayStation 5. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive, and I still have like 400 gigabytes left. And at this point, with PlayStation 5 being out and everything and whatnot, most games going forward will be PS5 games that I get. There's not much left on PS4 that I'm going to get because you have a lot of cross-gen games, meaning they're going to play better, look better, or whatever on PS5. And I think after 2022, you're going to have very little that's going to be made for PS4 in general. About the only thing I see being made on PS4 after 2022 is like sports games. Other than that, though, I don't really see much being made for that. So we'll see. But yeah, so most games will be on PS5 now. But with the space, like I said, if I get 2 TB, that would be get with that and what's in the system already. That would give me about 2.6 terabytes. Considering I only used about 1.6 on PS4, I think that'll be enough. I don't know if getting the 1 TB and giving myself about 1.6 total then would be enough, because that would be about what I've used on PS4 and PS5 games. I thought would be bigger than PS4 games because of just games being in 4K and higher textures and everything. But they've came out with like a compression technique that has helped games not like inflate like crazy in size. But even still, that means I'm thinking games will probably use around the same. And I kind of have a feeling with the way this gen has started and some of the games already announced and everything, that this is going to be a better generation than last gen, meaning there's going to be more games worth buying on PlayStation 5, meaning I might then use more space. So I kind of would like to get the 2 TB and play it safe, so I have that 2.6. But the problem right now with the SSDs is they're crazy expensive compared to your standard hard drive, especially for PS5, because the PS5 SSD is, and even the Xbox One Series X, have pretty fast SSDs. When PlayStation 5 came out, it was the fastest SSD on the market. There's been some faster ones now that have came out at some point in these last 10 months or so since PS5 came out. But still, it has a faster SSD than a lot of them. So there's been like different generations or something of these particular SSDs, one 4.0 now. And there might be some 5.0s, I'm not sure. But as more of those come out, the price will go down and everything. But and I'm wondering if by Black Friday if there'll be some sales on stuff. But there's also the fact that some people are saying that the whole scalper situation, that we might have an issue with that, like we have with the consoles and stuff on these SSDs. But basically, looking at the 2 TB SSD option, or the one, if you look at the 1 TB, I think about the cheapest you can get is like $190 for the 1 TB. For the 2 TB, I think about the cheapest you can find out there is like $360, $370, and that's a lot of money to pay for for more storage. You're paying basically like almost like a console worth of price for more storage. So that is a little higher than I would like to pay, but I am getting low on memory. And I know some people say just delete games and whatnot, but I like having everything on there because I do still go back from time to time and replay games that I haven't played for a while or whatever, and I just like everything being on there and not having to worry about, I need to, delete a game to have more space, and now I got to download this other game. Money is time, time is money. It's like having everything on there, not having to waste maybe 10, 20, 30, however long it is to install a game. If I want to play it, I want to be able to just hop on and play it. And the 2 TB, like I said, is about $370, so it's a lot. I'm wondering if by Black Friday, excuse me, allergies have been bad today. I'm wondering if by Black Friday, if you'll be able to get a 2 TB hard drive for maybe like $250 or something. That would be $120 less than like the current ones, as well as how much it might go down by next year and such. But I'm definitely going to need more space by next year, probably early next year, because like I said earlier, next year is just absolutely loaded with games like never before. So I'm definitely needing space by then, especially because I'm already getting low. I might be able to get through this year with not really needing space, but even if I do, like I said, once Horizon comes out next year, that would probably be the game that would kick me over the point where I need more space. But yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts and my news recap for you. As always, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Subscribe below, comments below, and not sure when I'm going to stream something next. I've been playing NBA 2K, but I haven't really been streaming that too much. Might get back into Fist tomorrow and streaming that. So look out for that. But yeah, as always, thanks for tuning in. Later.